So I was in bed just now. I was about to go to sleep, but I kind of felt the Lord kind of nudged me to make this video. And when I came outside, the first thing I saw was the moon sitting on the water, and I kind of felt like that was a clarification, I should say. Something the Lord made greatly aware of me today whenever I was in the water. And I was just, Lord, show me something. Let me know something that I need to know going into this season of my life. And the Lord kind of reminded me of throughout the past 4 years that I've been following God. The Lord has progressively gave me, well, not progressively made me, He definitely hasn't made me, but He's used the faith and trust that I have to do great things. Starting off from very, very small faith to very important things. I would say from giving my life to Him, to trusting Him with things like finances, to giving the Lord access to the things that I work for, like my degree, things like money, like all those things that I'm giving to the Lord, and they've just grown more and more and more from how He used them. Until now, when I look at my life and I look at how I'm going into a very different season, I'm going into a very difficult season. It's where I really, really need to rely on God. Like, the Lord is really my strength. The analogy that made sense to me whenever I was talking about it was the idea of, like, the Lord is my Father. And that's important because when you have kids, I'm assuming, you teach your child how to crawl, and then they start crawling, and then you hold their hand as they're beginning to walk, and then they learn how to walk, and then you teach them how to ride a bike, and then they ride a bike, and to all those things. I feel like now in a season of, I walk through all those things, and now it's me driving a car, which I feel like is very coincidental and very symbolic, because I just got a car. I got my first car, and dealing with all the things of actually learning how to drive. I feel like that's a real indication of the Lord's hand is still there. Even if it's not in the same way of Him holding my hand and guiding me throughout the smaller parts of my faith, He's still here, and He still loves me, and He's still guiding, and He's still providing. Another thing that the Lord reminded me of is a line from a song called Names by Maverick City. Highly recommend listening to it. And there's a line in the verse that's like, your name say it all. And throughout the song, it talks about the names of God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, Emmanuel, God with us, and you're here with me, Wonderful Counselor, etc. And realizing that all I need is found in God's presence. All I need is found in God's character. All I need is found in how good He is. And just to really trust Him with my life. To really trust Him with this season of my life. Trusting Him and knowing Him, having faith in Him that He will provide. Even if it's not how I want Him to, even if it's not how I thought He would. Really realizing that God will provide, and I just need to trust Him and believe in Him. And even in the current season of things where, sometimes whenever you're in a transition period between season and season, or even if you're just an emotional person in general, and just realizing there's a line, Proverbs 21 verse 4, it says, God will wipe every tear from my eyes. And that whole chapter is talking about, like, the idea of a new creation. And that sounds very far away, but it's a promise of God. It's a prophecy that He will ultimately, He has a house and He has a treasure, and He has a kingdom for us. That there will be no sickness, there will be no crime, there will just be peace. And the most important part is we will be free with Him. And I think that's a promise to really hold on to. I'm not saying ignore your current problems, but really realizing that the Lord has something beautiful in mind to me that will erase and it will outdate our problems. So that's something to really hold on to also.